Hello, we are back. This is me, Ninja, welcoming you to Plants vs. Zombies Heroes. I haven't recorded in a very long time. We'll see how well I do. So, let's get started. This is a Spudow control deck. I feel like what makes this deck really interesting is the 4 of Banana Launcher you can see right here. Banana Launcher I found to be very good against the various Sue decks that are running around. It's very helpful in those matchups. Let's talk about some of the deck choices. First off, we have some Galactic Cactuses. I feel like this is our necessity in basically any Guardian deck, whether it be aggro, mid-range, control. This card is just so good. I feel like it actually should be nerfed. It's that good, but yeah, maybe like having 1 health or something. I'm sorry. Uh, Berry Blast over Hot Dates because it's Spudow and I can run Kabloom. My finisher of choice is Dandelion King because it helps close out the game as quickly as possible. I like Walnut Bowling, but I think the Dandelion King's a little better, hence why I'm only running 1. I'm running Kernel Corn as board wipes, although I could definitely see Cherry Bomb coming in here. Poppin' Poppies is very good heal. Shamrocket is very efficient removal. Corn Dogs are actually very good against Gravestones. You would be surprised, because it doesn't really seem like that. But they play a Gravestone, you play Corn Dogs, they play it, and the Corn Dog will move to the Gravestone lane. Or if they play a Gravestone, the Corn Dog will go to it last. It's pretty helpful there. And sometimes you just want to get in for damage, and 3-2 is definitely good there. I'm also only running 3 out of 4 Gravebusters, and I might actually consider going down to 2, because I haven't seen a lot of Gravebusters. Decks that Gravebusters are good against, aka Neptuna decks. I haven't seen too many of those, so I'm only running 3. 4 of Spikeweed Sectors. I feel like the environment is very good because it counters other environments. Also, a thing that removal is never bad. Paracubs are pretty standard. Yeah, that's the deck. Let's see what happens when we go into games. Alright. Looks like we start off with a Professor Brainstorm. Professor Brainstorms are generally one of 2 different categories. They are either really hard aggro decks or really hard control decks. They're not really... I've never seen a in-the-middle Professor Brainstorm deck. And based on the nerfs, I would think that it would be aggro, but I'm not 100% sure. Against aggro, Banana Launcher is absurd, so I'm going to keep it. Kernel Corn's a little bit too late, so I'm going to mulligan that. That's very good if we're up against aggro. If we're up against control, I'd like to have Dandelion. Against aggro, I'd rather have early game interaction. And against mid-range, I'd rather have early game interaction. So yeah. Berry Blast is very easy keep. Banana Launcher, I think I'll keep here. Sorry, I've been recovering from a cold. I wanted to start recording again a lot earlier, but I haven't been able to because I've been feeling pretty sick. And I hate feeling sick. It's good to note that he played Inspiration, which means that he doesn't have, like, Dance Off or Eureka or something else. Also, playing Inspiration on turn 1 means he's probably playing a more controlling deck, which in that case, he won't really want to deal with the Banana. He won't need to deal with the Banana Bomb. That said, Banana Bomb still has utility in the late game, and an unresolved Banana Bomb can usually take over a game. I mean, an unanswered Banana Bomb. So yeah, now I'm generating 2 cards a turn. My random draw for the turn, and my my Banana Bomb. Here I'm not going to play anything. I feel like Berry Blasting his face is a little too aggressive at this point in the game. I don't really have the tools for an aggressive draw here. He's playing a Teleport, which I would not have expected this early. I would have expected it later. That's interesting. That shows me he's actually probably playing a Science mid-rangey deck, and going very much against most plans. So, yeah. Knowing that, I probably will Banana Bomb the Scientist. Also because I want to get the Banana Bombs out of my hand, because I don't want to be flooded with Banana Bombs. This is a very interesting decision I have to make. So I could kill the thing, and I have to deal with a 4-3. I feel like there is no reason I should be dealing with that. So I'm going to Banana Bomb there. I think I'm just going to do that. I don't need to do anything else right now. And if need be, that thing I can always blow up and deal 1 damage to everything. I also think, unless your opponent has a plan, it is never a good idea to play a Barrel of Dreadbeards in an uncontested lane with nothing else there. It's just free pickings for me. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it turns out to be worth it. So I have to play something here. That's the problem. I could go for my opponent's face. I could bubble up. I think I'm going to bubble up because he only has damage-based removal. So I'm going to bubble up my thing and move it right here. Make it very, very difficult for my opponent to deal with it. From there, I think I'm going to pass. Worst comes to worst, next turn I can play Poppin' Poppies, and that's still a 4/4 body that leaves behind other bodies that my opponent will potentially have to deal with. I figured he had that in hand, but there's not too much I could do about that. And wasting it entirely on my banana launcher is pretty great for me when I'm getting flooded in hand anyways. So, Gravebuster isn't bad if he plays a Gravestone. If he plays a Gravestone, potentially it's something I very much need to deal with immediately. I could play Poppin' Poppies. I think the better play is to just go that. Banana Launch. Sorry about the phone ringing. I did not realize the phone was going to ring. But I feel like the better play is to do that and Banana Launch. The reason I say that is the Pear Cub will kill it and then also turn into a 5/4. Dealing 2 damage each plant here is actually really good for my opponent. He doesn't know I have Poppin' Poppies in hand, of course. But it means that I wasted a Banana Bomb, which is not great for me. This is turning out to be more of a late game. I am a little bit behind on cards, but I am not worried about card advantage currently because I have a Kernel Corn and Poppin' Poppies. I will expect him to play Tricksters at some point. Now here comes a pretty big decision. Do I Gravebuster it, Spike Lead Sector it, or Poppin' Poppies? Or this? I think I like Pear Cub because I sort of want to get aggressive against it. I could Gravestone it, and honestly, what are my other targets? That is my question. I feel like I should Gravestone it, but I also want to activate this, and I can Spike Lead Sector next, so I'm going to do that. Maybe regret it? Possibly. I don't think I regret it here. I think I made the right play. Because I can also Banana Launch it, and it won't only generate 1 trick. Play a zombie when it's time for tricks next turn. Alright, let's see what he plays. And he's obviously generating a trick. The problem is that there is absolutely no way I can play around the trick that he just generated. Also, I think he made a bad play even doing that, because now he's not going to draw a card for the turn. He has a total of 10... Oh, no, he does. I thought he had 10 cards. Apparently he has 9. I will just do 2 damage. I think I need to get aggressive here. I will protect my other big threat here. I expect multiple of rocket sciences being used. Alright, is he gonna double chickening me? That's 3 chickenings, which is very strange. I don't even see 3 chickenings in my Professor Brainstorm decks that I play, so I'm very surprised. But turns out it's pretty beneficial for him here. Now, if I had kept that Dandelion turn 1, I would have really been in a good spot. I think here I'm going to actually deal with that. Instinct tells me that it's not going to be pretty if it deals with it. So, what is it? A Kite Flyer. Kite Flyer would have been pretty bad to deal with, but potentially not too difficult. I feel like now I need to play more controlling. Mostly because I'm a little bit behind in cards. Normally that would mean you want to be aggressive. But it turns out I don't need to be aggressive. Is he going to generate all 3? Alright. So he has random creatures, which means Kernel Corn's time to shine. Galactic Cactus is not bad. Because what I can do... Ooh, that's pretty good for me. That's not good for me. But there's a reason I've been holding that. So I could deal with it with Poppin' Poppies over 2 turns. But assumingly he's holding a Rocket Science, and I don't want to have to deal with that. So I think the better play is to play that. Kill that. I actually am going to play Galactic Cactus here. The reason I'm going to play Galactic Cactus is because dealing 1 damage to everything is not very good in this deck. And he also needs to deal with it, and if he deals with that, he triggers my Pear Cub, which will allow it to become a 5/4. Which means that he's not really going to want to do that. This is turning out to be a pretty long, drawn-out game. We'll see how many more I play. I probably will play at least one more. So he is going to deal with that, which is going to deal with my Paracub, but I'm not sure he also realizes it's going to deal with the Skunk Punk, and I now have a 5/4. And he cannot deal with it without playing some combination of teleports. Keep in mind that is 3 teleports. He could play Trickster here, and he does play Trickster here, which is not great for me. There's a reason I've been holding Poppin' Poppies, but that's not good for me. Alright, so this is probably the play. We're going to play Poppin' Poppies first. Kind of force his removal a little bit more here. Keep in mind that, I think I lose. I was going to say keep in mind that yada yada yada, but random Gargantuars and random lanes is not really something I'm equipped to deal with. I think I just lost. And I feel like a lot of the reason I've lost this game stems much more from the fact that I did not keep the Dandelion King in the mulligan stages. And I potentially should have kept that. So I don't just lose. I think it's actually better to hold this in hand. Funny. Could I just kill my opponent, like combo him out? That is a legitimate question. I mean, it's my only chance, so I'm gonna try. So we do that, right? We do this. No, I can't combo him out. Shucks. So this is gonna get in for 4, which means he's at 6. And assuming everything gets through, he's down to 1. But I don't even think everything's gonna get through. Like an environment, just so many things. Yeah, a triplication doing 4 damage to a point is not gonna help my case. Zombies here get overshoot 3. Ha ha ha, you're just showing off. Alright, he had a ton of environments in hand. Which is why he was holding so much, but also because he just had 10 cards in hand. Moonbase Z might have saved the game at some point in there, maybe. Yeah. I'm dead. Honestly, I feel like if I had kept that Dandelion King in my early game, and then Poppin' Poppies turned 6/7, I think I had a chance at that game. But overall, I feel like I could have played better. Yeah. I feel like I didn't make too many mistakes besides that, but obviously that mistake probably cost me the game. Well, let's move on to another one. I will get back to you. Oh, never mind. I was going to say I was going to get back to you when we get one. We're up against Infinity. Infinity, I have never seen a control or even mid-range Infinity, so I'm going to very much heavily assume it's aggro. Knowing that it's aggro, Dandelion King's a pretty easy mulligan here. That's great. I think I'm just going to keep the rest of this hand. Having 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, defensive 1-drop, defensive 2-drop, defensive 3-drop is great. So I am going to play this, and the reason for this is that if he plays Infinity Clones, and one of them goes in front of him, then it would have been great for me. But it doesn't, which is fine, because they still get him for 2 damage, although a lot of things. I'm actually just going to play this. The reason this is such an advantageous 2-drop is because it has Hunt, which means if my opponent tries to become more aggressive, I just come back at him. He might actually be playing a controlling build, which in that case I am very far ahead. If he plays like a Gravestone here, and I just Gravebuster him, ooh. So I have an interesting play. I can assume that whatever he has under the Gravestone kills my thing, and then I play Paracub, and I'm in great shape. You know what? Let's try that. I could be wrong, and I am wrong, very wrong, but if it worked out, it would have been great. And it does kill it next turn. So, at least we have that. And it pings me for 2, which isn't negligible in terms of both block meter and him killing me. Alright, that's interesting. I am 100% going to destroy this gravestone. Let's think about this for a second. I'm pretty much sure I'm going to kill the gravestone because I want to get in for more damage. I feel like I'm just going to win being the aggressor here. So we're going to play Galactic Cactus right there. We're going to kill that. The reason I didn't play in the Heights lane is because I'd rather have a more powerful threat in the Heights lane. And indeed, that was a smelly garbage zombie. This actually does seem to be the once-in-a-lifetime control infinity, which is very rare. I can tell you why this is exceedingly rare. Because Infinity has Sneaky and Crazy as their classes, and those classes are the opposite of controlling. So he is at 1, and I have Berry Blast in hand, so I think I have this game. Especially because Infinity gets absolutely no healing. Yeah, that's game. Obviously, this is not really meant to be an aggressive deck, but it does have those occasional aggressive draws that are just really, really hard to beat if you're on the controlling side. Yeah. So yeah, that was a pretty explosive start for my deck. Not really something I would expect or even consider under normal circumstances. I believe I played this deck a lot. I believe I've done that approximately 2 or 3 times. It's really negligible how much I actually end up getting a aggressive draw like that. But it does happen, obviously, as you've seen. We'll try and be controlling this game. These decks are usually more combo-esque, Super Brains in general. Again, I really haven't seen Super Brains control decks. I've seen some pretty crazy Super Brains decks, but the majority of them try and either be aggressive or do some grave digging shenanigans. I'm going to mulligan the Dandelion King, because I don't need my hand clogged up with late game. Same. We're just going to keep the rest. This is, again, a very good draw. It can also deal with a Metal and Nebula. Now, here I actually have a decision to make. This is not an aggressive draw. So I feel like I'm going to hold on to Galactic Cactus. The reason I hold on to Galactic Cactus here is because I have no idea what my opponent's going to do. He plays Inspiration, which again means there's no trick, which is pretty good for me. What's also interesting is that I got the superpower that allows me to do 6 damage to something, which is pretty absurd. I can't do anything against what I assume he's going to do, which is Metal and Nebula. Ooh, he does nothing, which means I'm probably playing against a controlling deck. That's a very good draw. Alright. So, now I have a decision. Do I want to play Banana Launcher and hope that he can't kill it? I could even Banana Launcher, Tater Toss, prevent him from being able to do anything, and then set up. But I feel like that's way too much setup. I feel like I just want a Banana Launcher and Galactic Cactus here. Maybe not even Galactic Cactus and just take 2. If he has Smoke Bomb, then I am pretty screwed. He has Metal and Nebula. Wonder why I don't play it last turn. To be fair, he could have drawn it. One thing I really don't take advantage of that more people I feel like should, but I'm way too lazy to, is you can actually see what order the cards are in, and that's very helpful sometimes. So here I have this thing, which is very descriptive of me. And I'm fully aware of that. I feel like I'm going to use the Hothead here. Knowing it's going to die, I'm going to kill that. And then I'll Banana Launcher the Imposter. See what he does. I have other answers in my hand. Mainly I just want to bridge the gap to late game. So far, improvements for the deck that I'm really seeing that now that I'm like competitively analyzing the deck, and that is not good for me. Improvements that I'm really feel like need to be made now that I'm competitively analyzing the deck is that it's really lacking some win conditions. I mean, I know I have Kernel Corn, Poppin' Poppies, and Dandelion King, which is theoretically, 1/4 of my deck. But, yeah. This is a way to use Pear Cub. Let me check something. Is Imposter conjured? Because if it is, then I don't need to worry about Imposter, whatever it conjured. I'm going to definitely do that. Could be Bounce, which would be great. Trapper Territory is also great for me to get rid of. Trapper Territory would have screwed up my plans, which is great for me to get rid of. The reason I play that there is because it kills the Imposter, but it also gives me a 5/4, which, again, if you don't know, 5/4s are much better than 1/1s. Now we're up to 6, and I have 3 Galactic Cactuses in hand. That is not good. That is good. What else is he going to play here? Apparently nothing. I'm actually going to Little Buddies here. Or should I? No, I am. The reason is I want to protect this, and I don't want to have to use my Tater. I still have that in hand. It does do a significant amount of damage to whatever goes in front of it, so that is non-negligible. He Metal and Nebulas, but now that it's turned 7, there's very little he can do with the extra mana without playing, like, multiple cards. So yeah. Is it Medalla Nebula? What is it? Medulla Nebula. Okay. Come on, again? That's not good, but it's... Oh, man. Well, that's not the end of the world at all. Ooh, those are pretty good for me to get. The reason I say those are pretty good for me to get is that I will get in for a ton of damage here. And I'm going to kill that, do that. What that happens is it's going to clear all 4 of those, and I get in for 9 damage. That's the hope. You ready? Set, watch the fireworks. Obviously, it does kill my little buddies, but I feel like that is pretty adequate here. Yeah. I got double 3 rolls. Of course. Definitely on the good side of luck this game. Another imposter. Definitely being lucky this game. I have all of the luck on my side, and nothing has gone against my way. And all joking aside, come on. So, I'm going to play Little Buddies. I'm also going to play Galactic Cactus. And try and turn the corner, become a little bit more aggressive here. Having that there means that I'll get in for more damage. And it also means my big thing will die, but it also means he's going down for 8 here. Never mind. It means that I'm getting in for... I don't even know. We'll see what else he does. Obviously, that's not great for me. That is potentially not good for him. He just wants to teleport to draw a card, which is interesting. Not something I would have expected. I feel like there are pros and cons to that. If he's trying to become more aggressive, then I feel like that's a good play for him. But if he's not trying to be aggressive, then yeah. Hold that, obviously. The problem is that now he saw what card it was, kinda. We'll see what he does. Amphibious. Finally, the second imposter has run out of imposters. That took actually way too long. What do I do here? I could go for lethal. He doesn't have the superpowers. I'm gonna go for lethal. It could be definitely just be the wrong play, and I understand if it is. But here's how we go for lethal. We do 3 damage to a zombie right here. Do that there. Do that. And it's Xaxes should my opponent have nothing. And that's game. Alright then. I don't think I really have time to do more than just this, but this was a lot of fun doing. Let me know if you guys want to see more of this. And by you guys, I mean no one, because my literal audience is ants. That's what happens when you take a hiatus for 3 years and then come back and be like, hey, let's record this very new game that I just found. I've been playing this for a while, if you could not tell, but yeah, those are a couple of games with Control Spudow deck. Let me know if you want to see this. Give me suggestions as to what other decks you want to see. If anyone actually views the video. We'll see. Anyways, thank you, ants, for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you later, and see ya.